On our third morning, which happened to be the 4th of July, we leave Pirate Cove without seeing any pirates and head up Port Wells towards Barry Arm. Along the way, we see another boat, a rare sight. We also encounter a raft of otters. Barry Arm has become well known in recent years due to concerns about the precipitous and unstable slope between Cascade and Barry glaciers. According to published accounts, this slope, appearing black in these pictures, has, between 2009 and 2015, slid 600 feet downhill towards the fjord, and is continuing to slump around 2 inches per day. Its base no longer buttressed by Barry Glacier, as this glacier continues to reduce and retreat. Concerns grow that the entire slope could let go at any time without warning. If this were to happen, it could create a tsunami as high as 33 feet, or 10 meters, which would reach the town of Whittier in just 20 minutes and create turmoil within Prince William Sound. There is no certainty that this will happen, but dire warnings have been issued and the situation closely monitored with instrumentation. Barry Arm contains a third glacier named Cox, but this one has no bearing on the current situation. We first visited this spot in 2013, and the retreat of the glaciers since that time is clearly evident by the sight of enormous rocks previously concealed beneath the water. An impressive waterfall adds its own drama to these magnificent surroundings. We now head for Harriman Fjord and Glacier, both named after Edward Harriman, a railway magnate who organized an adventurous expedition along the mostly uncharted coast of Alaska in June and July of 1899. Before reaching the entrance to the fjord, we pass magnificent landscapes, which dwarf a flight-seeing helicopter. We encounter another raft of otters, but for whatever reason they decide to beat a retreat. Our route is free and clear, but on June the 25th, 1899, the Harriman expedition faced an entirely different situation, as shown in this contemporary map. At that time, the existence of that fjord and related glacier were unknown, at least to non-native people. And Barry Glacier extended all the way to the fjord, almost entirely blocking its very entrance. Here is a 1998 photo of Barry Glacier, showing the narrow gap, estimated at just 100 feet or 30 meters, between it and the rocky shore. This is the ship that had to go through that gap, named the SS George W. Elder, 250 feet long, with a beam of 38 feet, leaving a space of only 16 feet on either side. They would have known nothing of the shallow depth of the moraine from the glacier at the head of the fjord. From this modern chart we can see the depth is given as 3 fathoms, or 18 feet, at low tide, while the elder had a draft of 16 feet. The asterisks on the same chart represent rocks. Glaciers carve without warning, and they could have been trapped or even struck by falling ice. But Harriman insisted, to the point of taking the helm. As it turned out, luck was on their side, and they found themselves in a hitherto unknown fjord, leading to previously unknown glaciers. Today, of course, after a rapid retreat of the glaciers over the past 100 years, the situation is entirely different, and we are able to enter without problem. We pass many exuberant cascades along the 12 miles of the Harriman Fjord. We encounter ice floating in the fjord, carved from the glaciers at its head. Most refer to these as icebergs, but the word berg actually means mountain, and having seen real icebergs the size of city blocks in Greenland and the size of mountains in Antarctica, I refer to these midgets simply as ice floes. Either way, their beauty is divine, and I will shut up and allow that beauty to speak for itself. To our surprise, Harriman Glacier has extensive sandbanks in front of its face. We assume these to be evidence of massive retreat, but subsequent research states this to be one of a few glaciers that are advancing by bulldozing and building morainal shoals, which they are able to move onto as they progress down the fjord. It was certainly nothing like this the last time we passed this way. Chris launches our drone, which enables us to extend our view and reveal the beauty of this isolated place. We move on to another offshoot from Harriman Fjord, Surprise Inlet, leading to Surprise Glacier, both named by Harriman in 1899. We find ourselves in another dramatic landscape. We encounter many ice floes once we enter Surprise Inlet. While editing this video, I learned that this glacier had also been subject to recent landslides, when, on September the 20th, 2024, no less than 3 landslides had occurred within 1 hour. But once again, no one had been present, and there had been almost nothing in the way of a tsunami, despite 3.5 million tons of material sliding downslope. With the benefit of hindsight, we can see the evidence of this event in these images. Christine keeps a lookout for rocks and other hazards. We see another small boat. Sorry. We again launch the drone for a bird's eye view. The prominent black streak is formed by rock scraped by the edge of one glacier before it blends with another. In this case, Stairway Glacier blends with Roaring Glacier to become Surprise Glacier, which discharges into Surprise Inlet and thence into Harriman Fjord. As we draw close to the glacier, many good-sized ice floes come together, and on this occasion nudge very close alongside Venture. A gentle swell alerts us to the approach of a tour boat from Whittier. She seems to shrink in size as she approaches the face of the glacier. We depart down Harriman Fjord with many dramatic waterfalls thundering down the cliffs. At the base of the massive peaks, more ghost forests serve as reminders of the 9.2 earthquake on March the 27th, 1964. We feel our way through shallow water into Serpentine Cove at the foot of Serpentine Glacier, also named by Harriman. The glacier is thickly covered with debris, leaving little ice visible. We drop anchor at 15:45, within 9 miles of the epicenter of that 1964 earthquake. Marked in red on this chart. We have enjoyed a memorable 4th of July, covering 43 nautical miles, equivalent to 58 statute miles, visiting 6 major glaciers, taking 421 stills and video clips, plus 31 drone shots. now quietly at anchor with our high-tech alert device deployed to stop people walking through our insect screen. We can relax in remote and serene surroundings.